So how much do you need to spend to obtain luxury along the Oregon coast? In this video, we're going to dig into that topic. I've got about a dozen or so homes currently on the market along the entire Oregon coast, north to south, that I'm going to walk you through and give you an idea of what type of budget you need to actually obtain luxury, and what does that mean along the Oregon coast? What does luxury look like along the Oregon coast? What do you get for that? All of that starts now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Living on the Oregon Coast. I'm your host today, Seth Marchant, licensed broker in the state of Oregon and Washington. So what does luxury look like on the Oregon coast? More specifically, affordable luxury. And what is affordable luxury? Because that's kind of an oxymoron, right? When I was a kid, thinking about luxury real estate, seemed like a thing that was just, for the 1%, out of reach for 99% of us. Might be aging myself with this comment, but I'm old enough to remember that show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Get ready for another incredible Lifestyles, your VIP journey into the lives and loves of today's winners who really know how to enjoy the great things of life.
That's where my mind used to go when I was younger. When I think about luxury real estate, things that are tied into like yachts and polo and sailing and all that stuff, stuff that only rich people you don't know, do. But now luxury, or at least the term luxury and what a lot of people consider luxury, is more obtainable. It's obtainable to a greater percentage of people, depending on how you break it down. And let's look at some numbers real quick. Just pulling some data from the RMLS. This is for the northern coastal counties, so Clatsop County, Tillamook County, Lincoln County. If we look at sales over the past 3 years, up until March of this year, if we look at sales under 600,000, there's just about under 300. I think I tallied these up. It was like 280, 270, something like that. We look at sales of between $600,000 to $1 million. There's about 70 sales. So kind of this bulk right here between the $600 and $1 million mark, that makes up about maybe 20% of sales along the northern coastal counties over the past 3 years. And as you are going to see in this video from some of the listings that we will look at, that's roughly kind of about what you're looking at. You might be able to get something for as low as $600,000, or at least in the $600,000 range. The lowest one I have on the list, and we're going to start from low to high, is $649,000. And so these days, what is luxury? What is that defined by? Well, it's defined one by size of the house, and also size of the lot, size of the property. Also going to be defined by materials. What is the house made out of? Mahogany wood floors are much more expensive than pine wood floors. So the materials are going to define, is the home luxury? Then the amenities. What type of amenities does the house have? A lot of hot tubs along the Oregon coast. Not a whole lot of pools, though. Not a whole lot of swimming pools at the Oregon coast, kind of in general. Saunas are a big new thing. We see a lot of saunas in homes lately. Probably didn't see hardly any saunas in homes, right, 20 or 30 years ago. Like if you had a sauna in your home, you were probably one of those lifestyles of the rich and famous people, right? You were super wealthy to be able to have a sauna in your home. Aside from amenities too, location, especially along the Oregon coast, water views are everything people want. Everybody wants to be able to see water, so having some sort of water view is also going to be a big part of location along the Oregon coast and part of what's going to define luxury for a lot of people. And then just price point, anything kind of roughly considered like in the top 10% of homes on the market might be considered luxury these days. All right, so very quickly, let's dig into some of these properties. We're going to start, like I mentioned, with the lowest price first. Looks like I got 14 on my list. The first one is going to be in Rockaway Beach. So what do you get with Rockaway Beach for $650,000? This is a craftsman style home. A lot of updates, it says, actually. Despite being built in 2008, there are quite a few updates in 2020. You've got vaulted ceilings. Yeah, you're about a half mile away, less than a half a mile away from the beach. So pretty good location. And Rockaway Beach is considered one of the better beaches along the Oregon coast. Now, it doesn't say it, but this home could actually most likely be a great investment property. Rockaway Beach is one of the more friendly investment locations along the Oregon coast, so you should have probably no problem obtaining a vacation rental permit for this house. This will probably be one of the few properties that is going to be true of on this list. Next is going to be Waldport. So Waldport is going to take us down just south of Newport. This is in the Bay Shore community. So 2-bed, 4-bath, 2,172 square feet, listed at $700,000. I don't know if you noticed this too, but just recently had a $75,000 price cut on it. This home was built in 2005. Looks probably a little bit more modern than some of the other homes probably built in the last 20 years that you'll see along the Oregon coast. It is on 3/4 of an acre, so large lot. One thing you might not be able to tell, I want to point this out, but you definitely have some ocean views from the second floor, might be impeded by the dunes on the first floor. So you are waterfront in this location, but you do have some dunes to contend with as far as your view. But otherwise, a great location. Definitely one of the more popular neighborhoods, or one of the more desirable neighborhoods if you want to be in this area along the Oregon coast. And this is in an HOA. You're going to have a lot of HOAs along the Oregon coast. This one is only $22 a month, and you do have some great amenities. Do actually have a swimming pool here. In fact, an outdoor swimming pool, which is going to be very, very rare for the Oregon coast. If you do encounter a swimming pool, it's often going to be indoors. I think there is an aerial shot of the swimming pool somewhere in here. Maybe not. Right about here, there's a clubhouse for this Bay Shore community. Swimming pool should be somewhere right about there, basically just north of the property by maybe a quarter mile or so. Next on the list is going to take us to Bandon. This is going to be the largest lot, or in this case acreage, 41.8 acres. Now, one thing I should point out, because there's a fair amount of people looking for acreage. If you're looking for anything over 5 acres along the Oregon coast, and you want a dwelling that's in good shape, it's going to be hard to find that for anything kind of roughly under 600, right around this price point, 700. Anything kind of 5 to 10 acres that's in a desirable area, especially anything that's maybe 20 or 30 minutes within the coast. Definitely if you get like closer to like an hour and a half away from the coast, closer to the valley, real estate's going to be a lot less expensive. But if you want to be 20 minutes away from the coast, have at least 5 acres, and also have a dwelling that's not in terrible shape, it's tough to find below 600,000 or 700,000. So if you wanted something especially beyond 10 acres, 20, 30, 40 acres in this case, this is probably about as good as you will find for $700,000 along the Oregon coast. Now, I know this dwelling probably doesn't exactly conjure up thoughts of luxury when you look at this property, although it does look like it's in good shape. But finding 40 acres, especially in this location, because you're not too far actually outside of Bandon, probably just roughly about 10 minutes outside of the city. Like I said, if you go a lot further inland, real estate gets a lot cheaper once you get closer to I-5. But if you want that 5, 10 acres, or in this case 40 acres, this will probably be one of the better values along the entire Oregon coast as far as acreage goes. Next on the list is going to take us down to Lakeside. That's just north of Coos Bay, North Bend. This will be our lakeside living home. 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,900 square feet, listed at $750,000, right on the lake. Now, this is a quiet little community, and that's a lot of what you're going to be paying for with this type of dwelling, is the real estate sitting right on the lake. And you've got a hot tub to enjoy that lake from. Like I said, not too uncommon to find hot tubs along the Oregon coast. Interior could use some updates. This is a pretty spacious 1,900 square feet with vaulted ceilings, and this does have a 2-car garage. One thing that sometimes catches people off guard about the Oregon coast is it is not uncommon to find houses that don't have garages. So in some case, having a garage along the Oregon coast is a luxury. Next, we're going to go to Neskowin, which is a quaint little town just north of Lincoln City. If you're driving the 101 here, it's not hard to miss when you drive through. This is the town right here. Little tiny town. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it as you pass by. So let's take a look at what we have here. Listed for $769,000. We have a 4-bed, 4-bath, just over 2,000 square feet, built 20 years ago. This home is listed as a stunning creekfront home nestled in the serene community of Neskowin, which, that's probably a good description for this house. It does look like they've done a few updates recently, but a lot of the original since 2004. A lot of what you're paying for here is going to be location. This is also a gated community, and you're not too far away from Lincoln City. So if you need grocery shopping or any other the bigger town amenities, you're going to be close by, kind of all the while dwelling in a quaint little town of Neskowin. This property also lists it as having RV hookups, which is a draw for a lot of people. And maybe you might find it a little bit surprising, but there are quite a few gated communities along the Oregon coast. So this is not too uncommon to find a house like this, a property like this within a gated community. All right, next we are going to move down to Astoria, or rather I should say up to, considering we're going north to Astoria. So this home's going to be a little bit unique in that it's a new build. There are not a whole lot of new builds along the Oregon coast, and especially a whole lot of new subdivisions like this is in right here. Not going to find a bunch of new big 20, 30, 40, 50 home subdivisions along the Oregon coast. So that makes this neighborhood a little bit unique. I have helped some people relocate to this actual neighborhood in the past. So if you're coming from outside of the state, these people were also coming from outside of the state. So just know that you won't be the only transplant in this neighborhood. That's going to be common, of course, for the entire Oregon coast. There's tons of transplants. This is currently under construction, so they have a few pictures of some of the finishes that they propose, but you very well could still have time to pick out finishes for this 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,287 square feet, listed at $769,000. Like I said, affordable luxury. This is going to be probably one of your top choices for the entire northern Oregon coast. Next, we're going to move down to Seal Rock, which is just south of Newport, so back down into Lincoln County. This property's got a little bit more of the timeless look. The French doors opening up to that spiral staircase. 3 beds, 3 baths, 2,754 square feet, listed at $774,000. This is also a great location too. This is actually just 20 minutes outside of Newport at the most. So very close to Newport. This was a custom built home. It is on just over an acre. You're not going to find too many houses along the Oregon coast that are on an acre, that are close to the coast, that are under $1 million. If you're looking for something a little bit larger than average, with a lot of privacy on a great lot in a great location, this house could be perfect for you. As you can probably see from the pictures here too, not going to expect, this is probably marshland over here, but not going to expect a whole lot of development. So this home is likely going to be very secluded and stay secluded. All right, on to the next one. We're going to move next to just up the road to Newport. This home is listed at 3 beds, 2 baths, 2,300 square feet, $885,000, built in 95, 6,500 square lot. This could actually be South Beach, based on the location here. So you're just about 5 minutes south of Newport in this location. It's a great location. It's pretty quiet down there. Not a ton of houses down there. It's sort of a quiet stretch along the Oregon coast. And you do have some water views, like I said, that everybody is looking for. I believe just behind that is just a pond or some sort of marshland, but it looks like you're also going to have some ocean views as well. Now, this neighborhood is also within a gated community. Got nice high ceilings, looks nice and bright, nice and airy in there. It says the second floor is actually, the entire second floor is dedicated to the master suite, complete with a spacious sitting area, walk-in closet, and a flex space. And then the attached master bath is an oversized shower with dual rain heads. This is probably what a lot of people might think of when they think about a luxury shower. This is also in a gated community, does also have a clubhouse. So pretty much all of the amenities that somebody might want from a community like this. Also a great wraparound deck. And some other features of the clubhouse. Indoor heated pool, hot tub, sauna, steam room, locker room, exercise equipment, indoor tennis and pickleball courts. I'm sure pickleball's popular where you are, just like it is here. Outdoor tennis courts, basketball hoop, park with a waterfall, lots of beach access. Probably debate a lot about what's considered luxury, but of the homes that we've looked at so far, this one probably has the most amenities, kind of checks the most boxes for luxury, and it's all within just under $1 million. All right, next we have another house in Neskowin, a 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,376 square feet. Again, if you don't recall where Neskowin is, that little tiny city, so just north of Lincoln City, right here. So this house is almost going to be right down the street, actually, from the one that we looked at just a moment ago. This one is listed as a custom home build. It sits on 0.42 acres. So you got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,376 square feet, listed at $885,000. Living room has a custom built-in bookcase, wraparound deck, great yard, and a 2-car oversized garage. And it does have an 8x14 shed for all of your gardening needs. Looks like they got quite a bit of firewood stacked up right there too for the fire pit outside. So large property, great area. Looks like it's in great shape and of course great location. Probably walkable to the beach for a lot of people. All right, couple more here to go. Waldport. We're going to go back to Waldport again. There's actually a couple homes that are showing up on the list from Waldport. One thing I will say about Waldport is your dollar does tend to go a little bit farther in Waldport. Real estate does tend to be a little bit less expensive there. This home was built in '96. It's on almost 3/4 of an acre, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,576 square feet. So I think this is actually the smallest home that we have on the list here, listed at $899. Large open living space with lots of views of water like everybody wants. This is also in that Bay Shore community that has the outdoor swimming pool that I mentioned earlier. Got a lot of updates for this home that was built in '96. It says the kitchen was recently updated, including quartz countertops, which are oftentimes the preference these days. Also got new appliances. All right, next we're going to go to Gold Beach. So Gold Beach down in Curry County, just north of Brookings. This home is going to be on 9.15 acres. So I want to show you where this is real quick. Right up the Rogue River. You're probably going to be maybe a solid 20 minutes outside of town. So this is definitely a property for somebody that wants to be a little bit more secluded. 3 beds, 2 baths, 3,543 square feet, built in 2016. So this is a newer home. This property is gated, and it does have a paved driveway. It might sound funny to some of you, but in some places along the Oregon coast, a lot of places, that might really be a luxury. There's quite a few places and quite a few homes that are actually on gravel roads along the Oregon coast. If you didn't know, paving is very expensive, and so for that reason, you can find a fair amount of properties that you might consider luxury properties. They're actually on gravel roads because people just don't want to spend the tens of thousands of dollars that it costs to pave. One thing you might notice too about this property, the floors, those red floors, those are actually Brazilian cherry floors. Goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of this video about materials, and materials kind of sort of dictating what would be considered luxury or not. And I think this home is actually the biggest on our list, 3,543 square feet. So again, $975,000 will get you a 3,500 square foot home with 9 acres, maybe just about 20 minutes outside of Gold Beach. All right, next on the list is going to be, this is listed as Tillamook, although this area is going to be Oceanside or Netarts. It's probably right in between, somewhere in between the two. The zip code 97141 can be listed as Tillamook, I think Oceanside or Netarts. Now this home is going to have probably about as dramatic of views as we'll see on the list. 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,213 square feet, just under $1 million at $989,000. It looks like you got panoramic views from a lot of the rooms. It says there's 3 decks for this house. It's got a lot of storage space as well, which is important to most people these days. Everybody's got too much stuff. And if you're not used to how homes are built here in Oregon with all of our sloping, if you're used to Arizona or Texas or maybe even some places in California, oftentimes these houses will have a crawl space or a basement or some unfinished place where you might put some extra storage, extra stuff, your Christmas decorations, whatever. And this says that there's a bonus storage room on the bottom floor. Now, the only caveat to this property, probably as you can see, is it is an attached unit. So you do share a wall with somebody else. But when it comes to ocean views, it's tough to get views like this in a property like this under $1 million. If you want to get views like this under $1 million, oftentimes you're looking at a property that's maybe had some deferred maintenance, not in the best shape. It might not have some amenities that people oftentimes want, like a garage, like I said. A lot of these oceanfront homes are too small. The lots are too small, and they're just all tucked in there. If you're from California, you probably know what I'm talking about. So a lot of these homes were built before a lot of people were driving, built back in the early 1900s. So no thought of garage back then. All right, so we got 2 more on the list, and actually the last 2 on the list are both going to be Waldport. If you want ocean views, if you want to be walkable to the ocean, this community in Bayshore, which again, this is also in Bayshore, which the other 2 were, you're going to find that your dollar will really go as far there as anywhere else along the Oregon coast. Now this house is 2,576 square feet, 2-bed, 3-bath, and it's on a half acre. So as you've also seen, these lots here in Bayshore are larger lots. Whereas if you go to like a Lincoln City, a lot of the oceanfront stuff, it's going to be like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square foot lots. Again, the Bayshore community, you've got that pool, pickleball courts, gym, tennis courts, and the HOA, $21, $22 a month. A lot of people complain about some of the HOAs along the Oregon coast. Sometimes definitely can be up into the hundreds of dollars a month. So last one we've got on the list here, also in Waldport, just under $1 million, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,920 square feet, 1.33 acres, built in 1990. Says seller is very motivated. Now this one, I think, I didn't look at the entire history, but I could go pull it up in the RMLS if anybody is curious, but I did notice this right here, listed at 1.625, almost just over a year ago. So seller's definitely a lot more motivated now at $999,000 than they were at $1.6 million. But let's take a quick look at this property and see what we're getting for just under $1 million. Got a 2-car garage. There's those ocean views. It does also say that it has a basement. This also does have some additional storage. And what does it mean when somebody says that a seller is very motivated? Well, oftentimes that means that they're inviting as many offers as possible. So it means that the seller is probably not going to be offended with your offer if perhaps you have an offer that maybe you feel like is a low ball offer. It means that they are willing to look at whatever somebody wants to send them just to get the ball rolling. And if you have some other terms, like maybe you need to sell your house first before you can purchase, so maybe you're contingent upon the sale of your house, a motivated seller might be more likely to accept something like that, whereas in the past, getting accepted on a contingency is pretty unlikely. So I hope that helps you get a better feel for what homes look like. That's maybe what you consider affordable luxury along the Oregon coast. There are quite a few homes that are unaffordable luxury. And perhaps if you want to subscribe, we will do a video like that in the future. Just real quick for you, how many homes along the Oregon coast above $1 million right now? 149. That includes attached units, so it's not just single family. That's condos and townhouses as well. And one thing that jumps out at me is there are a handful of really, really incredible properties along the Oregon coast. Now, there's some amazing properties in California, Florida, New York, the Hamptons, places like that. If you're ever wondering, are there ever any really exceptional, amazing, incredible properties along the Oregon coast? Yeah, there are some. This one's listed at $10 million. I think this picture right here kind of says it all for me. You're just not going to find something else like this a whole lot of other places in the world, let alone in Oregon. So I hope that helps you give you an idea of what affordable luxury can look like on the Oregon coast. If you want something that's a luxury property, kind of roughly what is it going to take to get that? And if you have more questions about that, again, I'm a licensed broker in the state of Oregon. We've helped a lot of people relocate to the state of Oregon. We are the Oregon relocation team. If you have questions about moving here, anything at all about the moving process, about buying a home, about getting pre-approved, you can call, text, email. All the contact information is in the description below. You can also hit that QR code if you're watching from TV. And if you want to see more videos about what it's like to live along the Oregon coast, we've got over 100 videos. A lot of them are just covering the neighborhoods, showing you what the area looks like, pros and cons, cost of living, things like that. Occasionally we'll do a video like this. So there's a huge variety of videos on our channel. Make sure and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And if this video helped you at all, give me a thumbs up. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. And feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you think about affordable luxury. Are you looking for an affordable luxury home? What is your definition of luxury? Because it's a little bit different for everybody. Feel free to leave us a message in the comments. We'll reply back. And until next time, take care, everyone.